Welcome to Protea Weekly. I am recording from the office of Protea Financial in South Africa. I am busy with my third business day, my fourth and a half day in the country. Always nice to be home. This is the city I grew up in. This is where I spent a large portion of my life before moving to California, which I obviously call home now. And I am super excited to get home to my family, my comforts, my favorite foods. Probably been a running joke this week that I'm a little bit difficult when it comes to food. You know, I know what I like, and it's not that the food's terrible. I've loved the food I've had. It's been great. But there's things that I like, and I guess I'm a little fussy. I have my preferences, and maybe those preferences aren't available yet. But as I was saying in the meeting before this, if all we're complaining about is my food choices, then that's a good trip. And it has been. It's been great to be able to spend time with our South African team. I used to do this in the beginning 3 times a year, really hard on the body, up and down. It took me 37 hours door to door to get to South Africa. It's a long way to travel. But what I have noticed this week is that my time being here and the time in front of the team is very much appreciated. And I've committed to myself the prioritization of making sure I come here on a regular basis to be able to have conversations with the team. Give them the feedback and the insights. We have regular calls. We have team calls. I stay up late in California time, get them first thing in the morning, share the news, share the background. But I think it's just a little bit different, a little bit more impactful when I'm live and in person. At least that's the way I feel. Coming out here, spending some time with the team, it's to look them in the eyes, see their body language, get their thoughts, their concerns, answer some of their questions has been a very positive experience for me. And it's a good reminder to me and to all leaders that FaceTime is important, even in this world. We are a mostly remote team. And we have an office here in South Africa. The team come in, twice a month on a Monday, and then there'll be some social events, some training in the office as well. We basically have it as an alternative. If you don't feel like being at home, if you want to get together with the team, plus it gives a chance for a little bit of in-person time. But the FaceTime does matter. Having conversations with each other matters. Sharing resources with each other matters. And I have found it, as much as it's tiring, these days are long. I supposed to have to work at night to catch California time. I have found it quite energizing to be able to have the conversations. I've had a lot of very, very good conversations that allowed me to walk away going, I feel really positive about that interaction. But I've also had some tough conversations. And that's normal, right? If we all lived in a world where there was never any tough conversations, we're probably not doing things the right way. A little bit of tension, a little bit of difficulty once in a while, that's okay. It is okay for us all to sort of struggle a bit once in a while. There's okay for us all to need a little bit of help once in a while and put up our hand. It's okay to have difficult conversations because maybe we don't like the way things are going. Those are okay. As long as we're having them in a mature, productive manner, those conversations are acceptable. But having good, productive meetings where we talk about real topics make a difference. By having conversations with each other, that is a good way to learn and connect with people. As much as I'm a big believer in freedom, I am also still a believer that connection is important. And the more I learn about it and the more I spend time reading about it, us humans have been designed and have, evolutionary developed to a point where we do need each other. I'm not saying we need people in a way that it's needy or fully reliant on them, but we are social animals that do need the opportunity to connect with each other. We do need the opportunity to spend time with each other. We do need the opportunity to be able to have conversations with each other. There's a reason why breaking bread is, a thing from our history. People get together and share good conversations and share ideas over a meal. It was fun to be in the office, especially on the Tuesday where we had team meetings. Everybody in the office, I posted a picture on my Instagram. I shared it on my LinkedIn as well. The whole team was there. It was great to have everybody in the place. You can see their body language. I can see how they're reacting to my words. I can see how they're interacting with each other in the common space afterwards. as we all shared a meal together. You could see the good energy coming off of them as they interact with each other. You could see that they enjoyed each other's company. And that's good. Sharing those conversations is a good way for us all to learn and grow and provide a bit of sense of security, especially in the world of accounting. It's not always easy. It's not rainbows and sunshine all the time. We've just come out of, it's, late February right now, but it's still a fresh wound that we just came out of year end. January is a tough time for the CAS community, and that's because we have a lot going on. We got to close out the month end. We got to close out the year end. We got to prepare tax accounts. We got to prepare 1099s. It's a lot. And that shared, trauma, for a lack of better word, of, geez, that was like fast. I think that's the biggest thing. It's not even necessarily hours. It's just how fast the month goes, right? Especially when you think like, hey, life is so short, and a month will just, you blink your eyes and it'll be done. But we get to share those war stories with each other. We get to talk about the funny moments that happened in the month. We get to reminisce on the thing that didn't go well, but we're able to, change course, fix it, and deliver. And it's important as humans to have those conversations. But it is important as well to make sure that those conversations aren't just talking about the negative all the time. I think as humans, we like to talk about the negative. And I think it's some sort of evolutionary development that we all have. I need to remember the negative things because that'll help me survive, so that, the lion doesn't come around the corner and eat me. So I need to remember that that's dangerous. Let's focus on that. And that's how we can easily sort of drop ourselves into the spiral of death, because we focus in on, like, I had this week and I succeeded at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things. But hey, I had this one little thing that didn't go well, and we hyper focus on it. Then we reflect on the week and we go, this is a terrible week. Cannot believe how bad it went. Look at this one little thing that went wrong. And that's just not a great idea and not a good way to live your life. You're going to be unhappy, right? If we only focus in on the negative, then life has to be negative. I spoke to the team about, let's focus about those 5 things that went well. Sure, there's this one thing. Did we fix it? Yeah. Okay. Well, let's add that actually to a positive. Something went wrong and we fixed it. Great. Plus I had all these other wins in the week. Isn't that amazing? Look how good my week is. I'm trying to encourage them, and I'll encourage you as well. Get yourself a gratitude journal on a daily basis. Create a process for yourself where you can sit down and say, wins today. Things maybe you can even write down. Yeah, I wish this went a little bit better. Things I'm grateful for today. And when you get to the end of the week and you're feeling, oh, it didn't so good, you can page through and go, look at all these wins I had. Maybe it wasn't as bad as I thought it was. Maybe it wasn't as tough as I imagined it to be. Because a lot of the time, because we're so hyper fixated on the bad, we make that bad grow. And this happens a lot of times. I think accountants do it all the time. Like, I had this one problem, and in reality, the problem was this big over here. But because we keep thinking about it, every time we think about it, the problem grows in our mind. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And then when we look at our week, we're like, look at this massive problem I had. And it actually wasn't that bad. And the idea why I like gratitude journals as well is, on those days that you're having a hard time, you can page through it. Remind yourself why it's important. I handle it a little bit differently. I like to keep little notes and mementos on my desk, little things that have been happening to me, pictures of my kids and my wife, things that remind me why I do what I do, the sacrifices I take because I want the best for them. It's important for us to focus in on the good, focus in on what we can be grateful for. For the vast majority of us, the good significantly outweighs the bad. And yes, then we will have hard times. We will all go through parts of our lives where there'll be a lot of darkness, and those hurts. But if we have created an ability to remind ourselves about the good in our lives and document it, right? Let's be that nerdy. Let's document what's important to us, what we're grateful for. And in those hard times, we can go back to it, and they will give us strength. My why gives me strength. I do this every single day because I want a good life for my wife and kids. It's that simple. When I'm exercising, I'm like, why do I do this? Why do I force myself to go to do that this day? It's like, because I want to live long enough to spend as much time with my children as possible. And when I go to work and I go, why am I working so hard? It's like, because I have a fantastic team, and I want to ensure that they have a great place to work for as long as they want to work for us. So I will keep working hard to make sure that these amazing people have a security of a great place to work. I use my why to drive me forward on a daily basis. makes me want to be better. I want to be better for myself, but I want to be better for those people that are reliant on me on a daily basis. My goal is to give to those whys as much as I possibly can, and that drives me forward. And everybody's why is going to be a little bit different. That's what it is to me. That's what's important to me. That's why I've put in the work. I've put in the sacrifices. I'm happy to put in the hours right now. It makes me happy. It reminds me why I do this and why I've got a smile on my face. And we have to be grateful. Grateful is so important. And that's documenting what you're grateful for. If somebody does something nice for you or something special for you, helps you out, tell them, thank you. I'm so grateful you helped me. I really appreciate you. I think all of us, and maybe this whole world, right, some shaky times. There's a lot of weird stuff going on. I don't have to tell you about the politics and the wars and just everything going on, right? Like we live in a strange time. And I know we've all been saying that for a really long time. And I think, this is why they say us millennials are a little jaded in life. We just constantly, it's a difficult time. The world's never going to be the same type situation. But because that's true, I think it's more important than ever then we find is to take control of our happiness. And I believe happiness is coming from having a why, being grateful for what we have, and focusing on the good, and being kind at every moment that can be. Kindness changed the world. One kind act leads to another kind act, and if we're all just kind to each other, life would be so much easier. But today I really want to ask you all to start just being grateful for the good in your life. That could be, for me, some days it's just my kid gave me a hug. It could be for those days, I'm grateful that I'm sitting on the couch and the cat decides I want to sit in your lap. It's those moments that mean a lot to me. I'm thankful. I've got a great wife. That's, I'm very, very lucky to have. I have two amazing boys that I'm very proud of. I've got a bunch of animals that I love. I've got parents that are proud of me. I have good friends that I can rely on. I have a fantastic team that puts in a huge amount of effort to help our clients be successful. I am extremely blessed, and I'm so grateful for that. And I hope all of you can sit back and go, look at the things I'm grateful for. And it could be simple things. I'm healthy. I have the ability to exercise. I have a roof over my head. I don't have to worry about where my next meal comes from. Whatever it is to you that you're grateful for, let's just acknowledge it. Put it down on a piece of paper. I've seen these things before, grateful jars. Let's chuck it in every year. Maybe they call them thankful jars. And you start at the day after Thanksgiving, you open them on Thanksgiving, and you start reading out all these great things that you've been thankful for, all the great experiences that you've had in your life. I think we all just need to focus in on the good a little bit more. I'm not saying ignore the bad. The bad is real. The bad happens. We should acknowledge it, learn from it, and move forward. The good, we should acknowledge it, embrace it, and use it as energy for those tough days. I really want everybody just to be happy. At the end of the day, everybody's always chasing what's the secret to life, and it's happiness at the end of the day. That's all it is. What can I do today to be happy? And a lot of days, that's just a simple hug. Other days, it might be some success. If I go to sleep at night going, man, I've got a good life, that's a good place to be. I hope that for every single one of you. And I want us all to feel the same way. I want us to focus in. Life is maybe not as bad as we think it is. And I'm not trying to, there's people with real issues going on out there, real health issues, struggling from one check to the next, lost their job. Like, I understand there's real issues out there. It's tough. And I I really wish that wasn't the case for everybody, but that is a reality. But in the moments when we can, let's learn to be grateful for all the good in our lives. And I think the practice of being grateful more often and keeping a record of it, it does give us strength in those really tough times. It might not make it better, but it can empower us to understand that, hey, we'll get through this. I have people supporting me. I have moments to cherish, and life is not that. Maybe a little bit overly emotional today. Just want to share my thoughts. I hope everybody can learn, or try at least, to be a little bit more grateful. Appreciate the good in our lives. Be kind to others. Let's hope that we can all find some happiness. Until next week.